Okay, Camtasia says it's going now, says it's recording, so we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to the call tonight, guys. Thanks for coming on a Monday evening, July 28th. It's been quite a busy past couple weeks for me, as you know. And last week we canceled our webinar because of that big forum announcement that ended up being a waste of time. But tonight we got a lesson for you, and then I've got several questions answered by the emails. And then we'll take your guys' questions as well on any topic you want to ask. I think most everybody has been to one of these before. There may be one or two people in here that's not been to one of these. But just in case, go over this again. There's nothing for sale here tonight. Everything here tonight is just for you guys. Generally do some sort of a little training here at the beginning. And then I'll answer questions that I've got in emails from the webinar form submissions on the replays. And then I'll take your guys' questions after that. So with that said, we'll go ahead and get started. But before we get started with Robert's little lesson here, I wanted to thank everybody that helped me over the weekend to test the new code for my Easy Membership Site Creator that's coming out next probably couple weeks or so. A lot of people were confused and thinking that I was selling that product, which, you know, I guess in a way you could have looked at it as I was selling that product, but no, it was mainly to test that code. And everybody that's helping me test it's going to get, you know, a copy of the program once, you know, I get the final code worked up. There's still some things I'm going to implement in it. This week I'm going to try to implement drip feed content. Right now everything is active in that site. I'm going to go in and try to set some of it to a time delay so that when you go in, you may click on something and say that you have to wait a week or so or a few days, whatever I decide to set it to. I may set it to release each one of the modules per day or something. Anyway, it's just a test. That site is. All of that content came from Resale Rights Weekly, so if you got a Resale Rights Weekly account, you know, a gold account there, you got access to that content anyway. That was just, like I said, a demo site just to test the code software. You guys that helped me test the software, like I said, are going to get access to it at no cost for helping me test it. And of course, it was a dual purpose. I wanted to try out the new JVZoo coupons as well, and we found out that the coupons don't work too well with the Facebook sharing. It seemed like it only worked 1 out of 10 times. 2 or 3 people actually got that to go through. I sent in a support ticket to JVZoo, let them know what happened and what I was seeing. It was only working every once in a while. And they said that they were working on that, said that the coupons, like I said, just got released last week. That feature did. So they're working on it, try to get that to be more consistent. In fact, it's pretty much not consistent at all if it only worked a time or two. But anyway, like I said, I wanted to thank you guys for helping me test that. If you're on the call tonight and you don't know what I'm talking about, over the weekend I sent 2 emails about the new release of my Easy Membership Site Creator. It's up to version 2 right now. I'm going to be releasing version 3 probably in the next couple weeks, and I'm giving you guys the opportunity till midnight tonight to get a huge discount on it. Plus, you get to actually test out that membership site, and there's some good training in that membership site as well. So it's a bonus either way. You get something right now that you can go back on and learn a little bit more about different areas of internet marketing. Plus, like I said, you're helping me test the code, and when the code gets released, when I get ready to get everything, all the bugs out of it, we found several bugs this weekend. So that, like I said, that was the main thing I want to do is test the code. We found several bugs. I got those fixed. Now I'm going to move on to the next phase, like I said, and adding drip feed content to it. That's one of the things that most everybody asked for in a membership site software was drip feed content in the previous 2 versions, which I didn't have that in those, and I'm going to try to do that in this version 3. But anyway, let's move on. Like I said, tonight I've got a training for you guys from Robert Plank, a good friend of mine. I don't know, you may not recognize Robert, but he's a excellent PHP programmer. Comes out with a lot of scripts and WordPress plugins and different software products. He's used to team with Jason Fladlin doing webinars, and he still does some webinars now, but it's mostly for introducing his new software products or scripts that he's coming out with. He don't do his webinars as much as he used to. But I was talking to about 2 months ago, and I asked him if he would do me a really quick video answering a question I get quite often about how can I make a quick $100. So this weekend he sent me the video that he made on that, so that's what I'm going to play for you guys tonight. It's about a 20-minute video or so, and it's pretty much down to earth, and he doesn't hold back on it. He tells you straight as it is, which, you know, that's the way I am too. You know, if you ask me, I'm going to tell you the truth on anything. So you kind of have to take this with a grain of salt, what he put in this video. I watched it, and there's some parts of it I agree with, and then some parts, you know, well, you know, it wouldn't apply to me, but it might apply to somebody else. But it is good training. So with that said, we'll go ahead and get that started so you guys can see Robert's answer to how to make a quick $100.
Hey, this is Robert Plank here to talk to you about your first $100 day. So everywhere you look, as far as internet marketing is concerned, you have a lot of people saying, how do I make 20 bucks in a day? How do I make 50 bucks in a day? How do I make 100 bucks in a day? I really don't like these kinds of people. These are the desperate people. But on the other hand, these are the kinds of people who are focused on starting small. So if you just think about how are you going to make your first dollar, how are you going to make just 10 bucks, how are you going to make 100 bucks, instead of trying to think about how do I make $1,000 or $10,000. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Just that you need a quick 100 bucks to stay alive, not 1,000 bucks. You don't need a bunch of money to get out of debt or pay your rent. You need to make that extra $100 on top of what you already make at your day job or from something else. Or maybe you already make some money online, but you want to make an extra 100 bucks. So the situation is that you just need 100 bucks. You don't need to replace all your bills. Just $100 where you have no list and no name recognition. But and we just want something quick, something that we can't necessarily repeat over and over. We just want to make a quick 100 bucks in a day just to see if it's possible. But the bottom line, before I get into this isn't going to be any kind of glamorous or anything really super cool or some kind of hidden trick. This is all going to be a lot of it stuff that you would have thought of on your own, and maybe a few other ideas that maybe you haven't. But this isn't going to be like some secret black hat or some secret traffic tactic. The bottom line is don't rely on the internet to make you a bunch of money. Get a job first. Have some kind of security before you try making this internet money. So here's the situation: is this 100 bucks? It's going to be the quick fix money, and the quick fix money is only stuff that will make someone else more money later. So, for example, if you're selling stuff at a loss on eBay, or if you're freelancing, writing articles, or making a website for somebody, and that other person's going to make more money than they paid you. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? To start out, you want your quick money, but just know that this short-term money is going to be more effort than the long-term money. So you're going to have to do a lot of short-term stuff and just get used to it and hate it enough to try to do the more high-level stuff. But you got to start at the bottom. You got to start at the short-term money, at least for a short while. So stuff we're going to ignore. We're going to ignore building a website, trying to get traffic, trying to learn a new skill, or trying to do anything for yourself. So right now, you need that emergency $100. You're not going to be building any of your own business because you've only got a day. If you had like a month or 2 months, sure, you might want to try making a website on the side. But for now, there's no time for that. Okay, you could easily waste the whole day building a website that makes you no money, that brings you no traffic, or even build a website that only makes you 10 bucks. And so just if we only have a 24-hour or an 8-hour period to get this $100, we're not going to be trying to build our own business. We're going to be building somebody else's business. If you have debt, don't rely on this $100 to get you out of debt, okay? Call these credit card companies and tell them you can't pay on time. Tell them you need an extension, because some of them will increase the lifetime of your loan, so they'll give you longer to pay it back, but in the end, you'll end up paying more, but you just have a longer period of time to pay it back. Or you can consolidate it and get it in a low interest type of thing. But you got to deal with your debt first, okay? You can't just pretend that you make a bunch of quick money and then you'll be able to pay off your debt and everything will be fine. Deal with the debt first, all right? And don't get in the same situation again. There's a reason why you got into debt. And you don't get into debt overnight. You keep charging stuff, you keep piling it on, and before you know it, you've gone too far. So don't get in the same situation again after this. And that's the most important thing, is that get rid of your debt, get a little bit extra money every day, and just change your habits. Okay, so the first thing that I think a lot of people would think of when trying to make $100 in a day is eBay. So if you have something around the house, things you don't need, things in your attic, CDs, an old phone, old clothes, whatever, sell it at a discount for what you originally got it for, because you are desperate for this $100. If you can sell your car on eBay Motors, if it's that bad, if you're in such a bad situation that you need to sell your car, then do it. And if you can take a picture, even with a camera phone or something, those ads with the picture and with the phone number always sell better. So that's my first thought. Without even thinking, the first thing that comes to mind is find something around the house that you don't need and put it on eBay or put it on Craigslist, or better yet, both. Put the item on both things and see what sells. But the only problem with this is that you probably won't get any responses within a couple of days, so that might not work. But if you're really desperate and you add a low buy it now price, you might get lucky and get your $100 from $10 here, $5 here, and it will add up. So if you have old furniture, old clothes, old computer stuff, anything old that you no longer use, or even something that you do use but you can bear to part with it just because you need this $100 so badly. So if you don't have the time for that, I would try freelancing. So you'd bid on freelancing jobs writing articles. You go to the freelance sites, and yeah, the pay sucks, and yeah, you probably will be busting your ass all of the 8 hours to get that $100 writing all these articles, but it's possible. It's very, very possible. I know a guy who makes $40 an hour writing articles as a freelancer, but he just got sick of the work. If that doesn't work, contact people in your inner circle who need videos, who need copywriting, or even a whole product. Maybe you have a half-finished product and you can sell it to someone. You can package it up so it looks just about finished, and you can sell it to someone and sell the rights away. You could try ghostwriting. So you go to your friends on the internet, not your friends in real life. Never go to them. Just go to your internet people and go to the freelancing sites and try to get a few articles written, or write an entire book for them. And the secret to getting a good rate and to getting paid what you want is you tell them you have 3 rates. You say, the price I charge for the best possible content is $50 an article. The price people usually like to pay me is $15 an article, and the price for the low-quality articles is $5 an article. And most people aren't going to pay that $5 an article because they don't want to get crappy articles. And people don't want to pay the $50 an article because it seems too high, but they're usually settled for the $15. You might have people who are just greedy for quantity, and they will give you the $5 an article, and then you can just crank out some really quick, low-quality articles and not really put a lot of thought into them. And that's no big deal. But what you want to shoot for, what you want people to get to do, is pay you the $15 an article. So that's a good way to get paid what you're worth, or maybe more than you're worth, by writing an entire book. So instead of saying $50 an article, $15 an article, say $15 a short chapter or a page or something. That's a good way to inflate your prices, is by writing a book for them, or writing chapters to a book and getting paid in advance for your efforts. Copywriting is another way to make a bunch of money quickly. If you understand things like headlines, bullet points, getting attention, if you understand AIDA, stuff like that, if you understand basic selling, you could easily get somebody to pay you $500 to create a 5-page sales letter. And I don't mean 5 separate pages, I mean one long sales letter that requires you to scroll down 5 times. This is the kind of situation where you can get paid now, and maybe it'll take you the rest of the week to write this sales letter, but you get paid now. And you set up a meeting or talk to them on the phone, or run a webinar for them and ask about what's their hook, what's their target market, what that market desires, and what is their unique selling proposition. What do they have to sell that no one else has? And most of the time, people will write most of your copy for you. So you could write the sales copy, you could write the advertisement that goes out to the affiliates, you can write the autoresponders, the squeeze pages, the videos. If you suck at copywriting, at the very least, you can give them quantity over quality. Here's something else you could try, script installation. And by the way, I don't want you to be trying all these things at once. I want you to look over all of your options. So each thing I'm listing here is a different option for you, and you choose the one thing that you think has the best chance of getting you $100 in 24 hours, and you pursue that one thing. Alright, focus is very important. You're not going to make any money if you try to do even 2 or 3 of these things in a day. It's just not going to work. You have to choose one and put all of your focus and all your energy into just getting this one thing to work. So, with that said, if you're more of a technical person than a writer, you could try script installation. So you become active on forums and offer to install a hard-to-install script for $10 or $50. You can install stuff like WordPress or forums, and most of the time, all you need to know for this is how to set up a simple database, how to set permissions on files, and how to edit stuff and upload stuff. Usually you don't need to know how to be a programmer, just how to do a few simple tasks. We could offer a service to install many copies. So you can say, for $50 or for $100, I will install this on 50 blocks. Then you get paid $100, and it might take you the rest of the week to do that, but you got your $100 today. And you could partner with the creators of some of these products so that they link to you on their thank you page and split the commission with the owner. So let's say somebody had a script, like a script that would submit videos, but it was kind of hard to set up. So you'd say, all right, I will set this up for you, and people can pay me through ClickBank, and here is the affiliate link, and all you have to do is stick this link on your thank you page, and after people buy your how to install the video, or after people buy your video submission script, they will click to my how to here's my service where I will install the script for you, and then you will get a commission. So we both win. You get an extra little bit of money, your customers are happy, and I get some work. So obviously you couldn't really contact the creator of WordPress or the creator of PHPBB and get them to do this. Before the lesser known scripts, this is not impossible. But the only problem that I can see happening with this is that there's the delay between when you contact them and they reply. So you might have to send out like 10 or 15 emails in a day to get someone to reply within 24 hours. Here's another idea. Make a freaking budget. So what are you wasting money on, and what can you give up? So can you switch to a cheaper car? Is it your car payment killing you? Can you move to a cheaper apartment? You know, I have a friend who had this coworker who drove a Ford F-150, and he was paying like 2 or 3 times what he was paying for rent on his car payment. It was ridiculous. This guy only made like $1,000 a month, and his rent was like $200, and his car payment was like $700. So what money is there left over? So if you can get a cheaper car, okay, maybe it won't be the fanciest, most glamorous thing in the world, but all you need to do something if you're desperate for money is to get a car that gets you from point A to point B. Can you get a cheaper, smaller apartment? Maybe you want something a little further away from work. Maybe something that's a little bit smaller than you used to, but as long as it's cheaper, that savings per month adds up. Can you eat out less? Can you cook more at home? These are all things I would consider. If you're good at affiliate marketing, you could try spending the whole day marketing a high-paying affiliate program. I don't really recommend this if you haven't sold anything as an affiliate before, because you can do a lot of work and get no results. But if you can find an affiliate program that pays out like for exercise equipment, so maybe you sell a $1,000 exercise machine and you get $100 in commission, all you need to do is make one sale. Or this will also work for stuff like vitamins and recurring stuff where somebody signs up and they get locked into a subscription, like a $50 a month subscription, and then you get an extra $10 or $20 a month. And you just spend all day promoting the crap out of it. So you email your mailing list, and you choose people on your mailing list to call on the phone one-on-one, and just try to get them get that one sale. But this really only works if you have a lot of traffic or a big list. But on the long term, if you fail, it makes a decent report. So this is probably the riskiest, the least chance of working strategy, but it's something where if you have a list, if you have assets, this is something you could try. And this is probably what I would do if I needed $100 quickly. and all I had was my list, I would email my list and just really try to hit them with a high-paying affiliate program so that I wouldn't have to do any work, I wouldn't have to do any product creation or support. I would just focus 100% on the marketing of that product with me as the affiliate. You could post an irresistible offer on the forums. So instead of marketing a product, you say, I will do any task you need. I'll write articles, I'll post on forums, I'll record videos for you, blog posting, I'll be your #1 fan. I will set up joint ventures for you. I'll do anything all day today for this $100. Just tell me what you need. You could try babysitting. This isn't glamorous, but it gives you a chance to work on your laptop while watching other people. So let's say you got a chance to babysit someone all day for like 12 hours or for a weekend, and it paid $50. Well, guess what? You made $50. Now you only need to worry about making $50 on eBay or $50 writing articles, and you can watch something and bring along your laptop and get two things done at once. Are you a stay-at-home mom or dad? Then you can save on sending them to daycare by working on your internet stuff on the weekend or on your days off. Or you could watch other people's kids in addition to your own. So not necessarily babysitting going over to someone's house, but you kind of host your own daycare. And I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to pretend to know about what kind of permits or license you need to run your own daycare, but at the very least, just watch over some of your neighbors or your friends' kids. We're just talking about anything to keep one extra stream of income working. And I know a few babysitters who get paid pretty well, and even if you only got paid, say, $8 an hour, if you babysat for a full 12 hours, then there's your $100 right there. So it's not always the most creative ways of making money that work. Sometimes it's the stuff staring you right in the face. You can sell resale rights. So if you're an information marketer and one of your existing products is not selling, try to sell resale rights for it. So the first thing I would do is go to these membership clubs that give people content every month. So these are the clubs where people sign up and pay a monthly fee and are given the rights to like an ebook or some article or something. So what I would contact these club owners and try to sell somebody exclusive rights for $500 or for $1,000. And if that doesn't work after a few tries, then just go to the forums and go to your list and sell multiple resale rights licenses for $47 or $97. Don't sell private label stuff. Don't sell master resale rights. Just sell the plain old resale rights so they pay you the $47 and they get the right to sell your ebook as many times as you want. Quick way to make $100. You could host or co-host an e-class. So if you have a product or you know someone else who has a product, you offer to present the same information but show it live in a weekly webinar format. So you do it where people can go to a certain URL and see a video of your screen with you demonstrating something. And this works if you can joint venture with someone with a big list. So you can find someone with a big list who has a popular product who doesn't know how to use these webinars, and you say, I'll do everything for you. I'll give you a recording of the webinar. I will teach everything to your customers, and so on. I do all the work, but I'm just going to reteach the same information in webinar format, and you get this extra video as a bonus, and we just split the profits. Or you give me $100 now, and we'll be square. You give me $500 now, and we'll host this webinar. You could offer coaching spots. This is a method that works if you have authority, but no list and no money, no product. So this is similar to that e-class, but you only teach one person at a time. So you can say that for $37 per person, I'll talk to you on the phone for an hour, and you'll tell me what you're doing, and I'll tell you what I think of it and what direction you should be moving in. And I've seen people who don't even have a lot of expertise give these coaching spots, and they will sell out. They'll sell out at $30 a pop, talking for an hour with like 10 or 20 people. So you can do it where you answer all the email they send to you, so you just become their email slave for the next month, and anytime they send you an email, you reply right back, and you answer as best as you can and research the answer if you can't find it. But if you can really do the webinars and the telephone coaching, you'll get paid more than if you just did the email coaching. Okay, so that was what to do. What about what you should stay away from? Okay, Stay away from gambling and investing. That includes putting money in stocks, putting money in Forex. Don't do it. Because what you'll do is you'll end up scrounging up $100 or $50, and you'll be back down to zero. Now, guess what? You need to make $150 or $250 just to make up for your stupid mistakes. Avoid those cash advances or high interest loans, because that's gonna save you today, but it's gonna hurt you more tomorrow. And avoid sinking a bunch of money into an idea. Don't get the big ideas. If all you want is $100, think small. Think freelance stuff. Think small, simple products. Think resale rights. Think irresistible offers. Think very short-sighted and short-term, because all you want right now is $100. And after you get $100, then you can work on getting your next 100 and your next 100. So after you've got that $100, get a freaking day job. Okay? I know a lot of people are able to do internet marketing full-time, but you really want to have that stable day job, and then you start doing freelancing in addition to the day job. And once you've got the freelancing down, then you make your own products in addition to the day job, and then you move them up to videos and to coaching into seminars and webinars and all that good stuff. But you can't really start without a day job. It's very risky, and there's a good chance that you will fail if you rely 100% on the internet to help you out. So get a day job and work on getting just a little bit of extra money every month to pay down your debt, or add some padding to your bank account, and change your habits to make sure it doesn't happen again. If your bills are higher than the amount of money you make every month, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to lose money. It's as simple as that. So just cut down on spending, cut down on your debt, and yeah, cut down on fun. Maybe you won't get to take as many trips as you want. Maybe you'll have to downgrade to a crappier car, and you can't eat out as much. You'll have to move to a crappier apartment. But you will build it back up. I mean, just consider the fact that Walt Disney and Abraham Lincoln and Larry King and Donald Trump have all declared bankruptcy at some point, and they all built themselves back up. So the long-term plan is you basically need to freelance to get your contacts, so you get people to give you repeat work, you get credibility because people can give you testimonials and vouch for you, and you get experience, which you can show as you can show writing samples. And really, when you're freelancing, all people want to know about are your samples and your rates. So you say, I do articles, here's what it costs, and here are some examples of my articles to prove that I don't write in broken English. I'm a copywriter, here's my rates, here's my examples of copy to prove that I can sell fairly well. Or I install scripts, here's what I charge, and here are some URLs where I've set up stuff and people were very happy with me. So you're just going to be freelancing, and you're going to get some crappy clients and some good clients. And guess what? When it comes time to get the repeat work, you go with the good clients, not the crappy clients. And then you end up working for people you actually like working with. And then you can jack up your rates a little bit. And then you just get more and more money, and you take the small baby steps. But when you freelance, before you try to do any kind of marketing, you get the proof before the product, and eventually you can create products about how I write copy, or how I do articles, or how I set up this kind of website, how I install these scripts. Here's how I install Joomla and PHPBB and WordPress. Here's how I handle tech support. You can just pick one thing that you do really well, that you really enjoy when you do this freelancing, and you can use these products as lead capture devices. So if you are really good at installing Joomla, you can be like, well, here's my videos about how I install Joomla. And then people buy it, and you say, by the way, if you want me to install your next Joomla site, I'll do it for this amount of money. And that will get you a lot more business, believe it or not, than the person who just tries to market the Joomla installation service. So you're going to have the day job, you're going to build the freelancing, and then once you get enough proof and a product, you can replace your freelancing with the marketing of your products. But it's really hard to skip that step. Okay? So the long-term plan is just to make a little bit of money first, do your freelancing, do your desperate tactics, do your babysitting, just be humble. Okay? Just make the tiny sacrifices now so that you can be smart and move yourself up later. I'm Robert Plank, and that was about your first $100 day.
Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, Robert was pretty much down to earth with that, telling people how to make the first $100. I get that question a lot about how can I make quick money now, and a lot of times it resorts to maybe doing something offline that doesn't involve internet marketing at all, or you could do it with internet marketing, like you said, with mostly freelancing type things. One thing that I would have added to that would have been to do a Craigslist arbitrage where you go to recycler.com and find things that people are wanting to give away for somebody that's willing to come and pick them up, and then turn and clean those things up, or maybe work on them a little bit, and then sell them over on Craigslist or eBay. I've done that before when I was working blue collar jobs and needed money. I would go to recycler.com and get things and just refurbish them a little bit and then resell them on Craigslist or eBay. In case you guys don't know it, here's the link to Recycler. But like I said, I get that question a lot about how can I make quick money now. I'm emergency situation, need money, and I asked Robert what would be his response to that, and that's the video that he shot for me on that. He also gave me a text document with that in it too, the answers to that, so I'll provide that for you guys too, and I'll make some notes in it as well as some things that goes along with that, so I'll have that on the replay for you guys. Is everybody still hearing me? Type yes if you still hear me. I hope I'm not disconnected. Okay, great. I was afraid I was disconnected there for a minute. Okay. Okay, Dana's sending a message, okay. All right, we'll give you a second here, and then I'm going to move to our questions that I've got in the email form submissions. Like I said, there's lots of ways. In fact, preluding to that, I'm mentored with, joined Jason Fladlin and Will Matto's 6 and 6 coaching, and that's the very first lesson they give you in their coaching is to analyze your current situation and your current debt to income ratio and try to adjust that and get it in balance before you start trying to do anything marketing online, is to get your current home situation in line first. Because a lot of times if you do that, if you'll write down your monthly expenses of what you're spending on your online things, you'll find things that you've kept around that you don't use, or it's not making you any money, so you can eliminate it, and you'll find that extra $100 like Robert was saying in that video. So like I said, that's the very first lesson that Jason and Will give you in their 6 and 6 coaching, is just to analyze your current situation and see where you can cut out some expenditure on things that you aren't using or aren't making you any money to start with. Okay, well, Dana, I'll tell you what, let me go over the questions I've got in email, and you can type yours in when I get through with these. I've got quite a few of these to go through since we didn't have a webinar last week, and then the week before was delayed because of the work I had to do at the school. So let's go over those questions first, and then you can type yours in, Dana, once we get these done. I've got quite a few here, not a whole lot, but quite a few. The first one I got says, what kind of squeeze pages work the best and what's considered a decent conversion rate? There's been, lots of people debate what squeeze pages work the best, and it really depends on the type of traffic that you're sending to them, which ones would actually convert for you the best, and it also depends on the niche that you're in too. The one general thing that I have found that seems to win out most of the time, no matter which niche it is or which type of traffic is, the less reading the prospect has to do on the page before they make the decision to enter their email address and hit the submit form, the better. It's good to have a good headline that grabs their attention, and then maybe a sub-headline, and then if you want to put a product image on there, the free gift you're giving them, or some sort of little short video. I found that the squeeze pages that are all video don't do as well, but like I said, the ones that have very the minimal amount of reading on them seem to do the best. And again, like I said, it really comes down to the niche and the traffic that you're sending. And then the second part of the question is, what's considered a decent conversion rate? And again, that goes back to the tracking. You have to do tracking to know what your conversion rate is to start with. But if you're sending 100 clicks to a squeeze page and you're getting 30 to 40 opt-ins from it, well, then that's considered a good squeeze page. Is working, converting for you fairly well. I have seen some, like I said, it depends on the type of traffic you're sending. If it's solo ad traffic, you've bought a solo ad, you'll get higher conversion rates. Like I said, I have seen some go as high as 60 to 80%, but those are rare when you get them to go to that. You've got a really good fine-tuned headline and sub-headline when you get one to convert like that, and good quality traffic. But like I said, a good conversion rate is generally about 30% or so. If you can get 30%, 1 out of 3 people are opting into your list, well, then your squeeze page is doing, about the average of what it should be doing. Let's see, the next question is, if I wanted to sell solo ads, how many list subscribers would I need? Well, basically, you could sell solo ads about any time you have a good responsive list. The people are going to respond to the emails and click the links. Most people only want to buy, like 50 clicks or 100 click emails. So on the average, if you use internet marketing's average click-through rates and open email rates, which averages about 3 to 5%, you're looking at about 500 to 1,000 subscribers that are responsive, and are clicking and opening your emails before you could sell 50 and 100 click solo ads. It could be done, with less than that, but you'd have to have a really, really, really responsive list, that you get really high open rates and click-through rates. But generally, I wouldn't attempt to sell solo ads before you had less than 1,000 subscribers. You need to have at least 1,000 to be able to deliver the clicks, because most of the time when somebody buys a solo ad, they want to get the clicks within first 2 or 3 days after this email's been sent out. Now, of course, you have to schedule them, so they know they may have to wait a few days for it to actually go out, but they generally want to see the clicks come in 2 or 3 days once the solo ads went out. Okay, the next one says, I need to make money now, what do you recommend? And of course, we just saw a video by Robert that shows you ways that you can make some money instantly with offline stuff and doing some online stuff if you're willing to do freelancing and writing. That's a question I get real often. Says, I need to make money now, what do you recommend is the best thing to do? And hands down, if you can find something offline you can do that you'll get paid right that day for it or that week, that's the best thing to start with. If you have some time to work with, you don't need the money as badly, you're willing to wait a week or two, I would recommend trying to do some sort of either freelancing for somebody that's wanting several articles or a book written like Robert was talking about, or creating your own product and listing a WSO over on the Warrior Forum, something like that. Or like he was talking about in the video, and this is something people overlook a lot, is creating a product and then going to the PLR website owners and offering to sell it exclusive rights to them. And you can make good money doing that, but of course, like I said, it means taking the time to actually write up a decent product, and you don't always have to give them a sales page with it, but most of the time they're going to want one, so you may have to create a sales letter to go with it. But that's a good way to make really good money if you have some time to work with. Just create a unique product of your own and contact these PLR and master resale right web owners and offer them exclusive rights to something. That's something Robert talked about in the video doing. The next question I got was, what's the best place to get resale rights products and PLR? Hands down, I recommend Resale Rights Weekly over any of the rest of them. Of course, there's a lot of them, just about the same par with Mark Austin's websites. I can't say that his is the absolute best, but that's the one that I've been using for years. Mark's good about taking requests. If you find a product that's for sale out there that has some sort of PLR or master resale rights available to it, you can send Mark an email or post over on his forum asking him to add it to the membership site, and he will. So that's the reason why I deal with Mark, because he's real responsive to questions in his forum posts. But there's lots of places you can go that are like Mark's. I'm not saying his is the only one or the absolute best one. It's just that he's the one I've dealt with for I guess, good 6-8 years now, so he's the one I recommend over any of the rest of them. Next one says, have you made any Bitcoin since the lesson you gave on it? And yes, I have made some Bitcoin. There was a PLR sale that came out from Eric Holmlin not too long ago. It was 1st of July, I guess it was, that was dealing with some of the topics that I felt like would be good for those onion sites. And I set up an onion site and a sales page for one of those. It was a PLR product on, what was it? Living in a van is what it was. How to live in a van. And I actually sold 2 copies of that thing when collected some Bitcoin for it. Now I had to go through Coinbase to set up an actual, what they call a merchant account. It's not really a merchant account, to be able to collect the payment for it. But I did actually sell 2 copies of it so far. I don't keep the onion site running very long. I have it running on an old XP machine that I have here that I can't use for anything else. But I'll fire it up and let it run for a day or two and then shut it off for a while. But like I said, it did make 2 sales from it. And then I found another one of these viral banner ad places that will let you put banners on there and sell banner spots for Bitcoin. I'm experimenting with that and haven't made any sales with it, but I'm experimenting with it. Like I said in that training, I'm not going to invest any real money in Bitcoin. I want to try to make some and try to earn some and see how well it does, just as an experiment, because I have a feeling, Bitcoin is going to take off now, since the rumors of Amazon maybe going to take Bitcoin in the near future. And of course, you got Overstock.com, and it is taking it now, and several other merchants that are taking Bitcoin. So I want to try to get involved in it some way, but like I said, I don't want to invest any real money into it until I start seeing it is becoming mainstream. And then the next question was actually from the same person. Asked, I'm confused about those onion sites you talked about. Doesn't the NSA know about them? And like I said in that webinar, yeah, they do. The NSA, which is the National Security Agency, they do know about the onion sites, and they are on there going through them, the ones they find. And if they find any kind of suspicious activity or anything they deem to be terrorist activity or anything like that, they're definitely going to flag it and watch it more closely. But yeah, all the government agencies know about these onion sites, and they're all in there looking around, seeing what people are talking about. Because like I said, it's encrypted web browsing and websites, but still anybody has access to it. So the government agencies are in there as well, and they want to see what people are doing. So like I recommended, if you do want to set up an onion site, don't do anything illegal on it. You'll be fine. If you do decide to do something illegal, you better be sure you can cover your tracks, because like I said, they're in there watching you. So that's my best advice to you. If you're going to set up an onion site, do something legal on it. Don't try to do anything illegal on them, because they are people from the government agencies that do have access to everything that's on there as well. Next one I got says, is there more money to be made selling software as opposed to ebooks and videos? And definitely, I would say yes, software is a bigger seller than especially ebooks. Ebooks have kind of lost a lot of steam now. Ebooks still work great in other niches, like some of the self-help and problem niches, where people want to learn about how to deal with a medical problem or something like that. Ebooks do well for that. But when it comes to general training and showing people how to do something, or helping people to do something faster, software and videos are going to outsell ebooks every time. Ebooks, like I said, are a great backup to video. It adds extra value to a package or a product if you have an ebook that goes along with the videos, because some people still prefer ebooks over videos, but it's still hands down people would rather have the video than the ebook anymore. Ebooks that are directed to a specific method, that are right to the point, that don't have a lot of fluff in them. They're not 200 or 300 pages long to explain something. They're really quick and show an exact detail on something. Those do fairly well, but still, a video is going to outperform that ebook as well. But again, software, like I said, sells the best of all of it. People would rather, have a piece of software because they can actually see it doing something for them, making something easier for them. So, the people are going to buy software more than they would, having an ebook that tells them how to do something manually. And the next one I got says, everybody always uses dog training and dieting as example niches. Why is that? The best explanation I can give you for those is just so easy to talk about those because it's, there's lots of avenues you can go in both those niches. And they're both kind of broad. Maybe another reason why people use those as an example. But not that they're necessarily saying that they're good niches to go into, because like I said, they are too broad, and especially dieting is way overcrowded. It's hard to make a good stand back in a dieting product now unless you're going to narrow it down to something like the paleo diet or the South Beach diet or something like that, something really specific. Dog training, like I said, is again too broad a niche. If you could narrow it down, specific breeds of dogs or specific, things you wanted to train the dog to do, it would do better. But that would be my best explanation for it, just because, they are such broad niches and there's lots of avenues for ways people to go into those two, is why you hear the most about those two. And the next one I got says, what do you think of the Warrior Forum and its current changes? And of course, I guess most of you have read the email that I sent about the last Monday night's big announcement that they had. I don't know, they're making so many changes over there, and then this deal with their own payment system now on the WSOs, and forcing people to go through their payment system first to set up a WSO. It's, it looks to me like they're going to be eventually, cutting out using JVZoo and Warriors Plus and ClickBank as payment processors over there, and you're only going to be able to use their Warrior Forum payment system. I don't like that it seems to be going that way, that they're going to start forcing people to use their payment system. If it worked 100%, it would had the features that the rest of them had, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but right now it's not functional, it doesn't work right, so I don't think it should be forcing people to use it. But, that, I guess, Freelancer, when they bought that website, they told Alistair, the guy that they're letting manage it now, that he has a time frame to see it turn a profit, because they did pay big bucks for it. The rumor was $2.3 million is what they paid for that for him. So I'd say he's on a time frame to start showing a profit from that. So that's the reason why they're stepping up the game on that Warrior payment system. But like I said, if it was 100% functional, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But like I said, there's a lot of it, all the features it needs that it can't do. So, I don't like that they're forcing people to use it now. The last question I have that came in through the emails was, which payment processor do you recommend above any other? And right now I'd have to say it's JVZoo. JVZoo is, they've came a long way. They've implemented a lot of new features. Like I said, the one I was testing this weekend was the coupons. So, I'd recommend JVZoo over any of the rest of it right now, and especially because it's free. It doesn't cost you anything to list the product over there. Now, there's the argument that Alistair from the Warrior Forum made, that the Warrior Payments is cheaper to use than JVZoo, but when you get to comparing the features that they have, it's worth it to pay more processing fees at JVZoo because you have the features that they have. And the one thing that I really like about JVZoo is, even if you're not list building, they are building a buyer's list for you over there, so that when you list a new product over there, you can go into the seller's dashboard and you can send out a notification about your new products. Now, of course, that's the only communication you have with your past customers, but that's better than nothing if you don't have a list at all, which you should be building a list from your sales anyway, but some people aren't to that point of doing it. They're just wanting to experiment and see if they can sell something, maybe by putting up the resale rights or some PLR that they bought. So they're just wanting to see if they can sell that first before they invest in autoresponder service and a website. So that's a nice feature that they have, that they do have, that where they automatically build a buyer's list for you that you can notify when you list a new product over there. And like I said, they've got a lot of features over there that nobody else has. Even Warriors Plus has went way behind in the features that JVZoo's been adding. And of course, ClickBank used to be the favorite of everyone, and it probably still would be mine if it didn't cost to list a product over there. Having to pay $49 to list a product over there, you got to be, pretty much sure that you're going to convert with it, or it's a big gamble to put a product over there that's going to cost you $49 every time. Of course, you can send them an email once you've got your first one listed over there, and they'll give you half price on your second one. But still, even at that, you're still looking at $25, roughly $25, $30 to list a product there. So I'd still, like I said, the ones I would recommend over any of the rest of them would be JVZoo. Maybe here in the next few months, Warrior Payments will get to the point where JVZoo is. And, they're getting a lot of suggestions and a lot of feedback. Let's just see, since they've got access to all those programmers, if they actually implement any of it. But for right now, I would still say JVZoo is the one to go with, since it doesn't cost anything to list something over there, and they have so many features available to them. Okay, well, that's the list of questions that I had from the previous 2 weeks on the form submissions. So let's see what you guys got questions now. Dana has posted hers now. What do you think about Zaxa? Zaxa is another payment system that's just been launched here in the last year and a half. And Zaxa actually has a lot of good features to it, but Zaxa is not cheap to get into as far as being a vendor. It's not as expensive as ClickBank is. They have a one-time price that you can get for a year, where you can list as many products as you want within that year for a yearly subscription. And they also have a monthly service too. And I can't remember, it seemed like the monthly is like $19 a month. But they also charge, commission fees, it's like JVZoo or Warriors Plus or any of the rest of them. They charge fees on top of those subscription rates. But they do have a lot of good features that aren't available in JVZoo and Warriors Plus. Now, ClickBank has the ability to be able to do membership sites for you and notifying your customers of new content on membership sites. Well, Zaxa has that as well. But I don't know. Zaxa, to me, is kind of like using Nanocast. I know a lot of you have bought products and had to go through Nanocast to get to your purchase, the product that you bought. It's kind of like along that same line. It's a monthly subscription to use the service, but they do have a lot of content management and digital management for you that the other platforms don't offer. I would recommend, if you're going to go with Zaxa or Nanocast, to wait till you've got a good steady stream of products of your own, and then maybe consider one of those two. Just starting out, I would stick with JVZoo or Warriors Plus if I were just starting out. Roy says, now I'm on Alistair's mailing list. He emailed me about what I should buy every day. Yeah, Alistair has been sending out what they call Warrior Deal of the Day. Is what they're calling it now. And I don't know if you guys caught it over the weekend. They sent out a deal of the day on a product that came out in 2011 as some sort of YouTube video marketing thing. And I don't know if you read the last page of comments on that thread. I mean, people were really trashing it. Of course, it being a product from 2011 and about YouTube, it's outdated. So I don't know why in the world Alistair would pick a thread that old to promote his deal of the day. That surely, I don't know what their reasoning is behind picking deal of the day either. It's whether the money they're going to make on the commissions or the traffic they think that it's going to convert. I don't know what they're not releasing it, just like all the rest of them. They won't tell how they pick their deal of the day. But from this past weekend, I mean, he caught a lot of flack over picking that product from 2011 that's definitely not a viable product to be selling in 2014. We've got quite a few people in there now, some new people I know. In case some of you weren't here at the very beginning, I wanted to clear up what the deal was on that email I sent this weekend on that testing that product for me. it wasn't necessarily that I was selling that product. I mean, that product was just a bonus for you to have something for the helping me test, because I was testing the JVZoo coupons and testing the code for that new um, membership that site software that I'm going to be releasing. So that was what the whole deal with what that was. The actual membership that you were joining was just something for you to be able to use. And like I said, in this week I'm going to be trying to implement some more features in that code. So look for you guys that did join in on that beta testing that. Look for another email coming this week to help me test some more areas of that software. But that's what that all was about. It wasn't that I was necessarily selling that product, even though I had to give you something for you to be able to test it. All them video sets that were in there, if you're a member of Resale Rights Weekly, they're all available in there. So, it wasn't that I was trying to sell that as a product. It's just that I needed something to test that code with. That's what that was all about. Okay, Patricia. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for coming tonight. Patricia hadn't been to one of our webinars in a long time. Glad to see her come to one of them. She hadn't been in online marketing here in the past few months at all. So it's good to see Patricia on one of my calls. Of course, is there a video that covers how to set up perfect text ad for JV giveaways? I guess you're talking about the text ads in the doc files that David sent out. Have you not participated in any giveaways, major giveaways? I thought you said you had, Roy. Anyway, if you have, it's just like setting up those text ads as a contributor in the other giveaways. It's basically a headline, and then that's, I think, 50 characters, 60 characters maybe. And then you got a description. It's like 100 characters, maybe 150 characters, and then the web link is basically all it is. It's about like creating a pay-per-click ad. If you've done any kind of pay-per-click, it's about the same thing as what he's asking for. Okay, so you've not upgraded. You've never been an upgraded contributor in any giveaways. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, that's all it is. It's just a title to the ad. And then, like I said, it's either 100 to 150 characters. I can't remember what David said in the doc file now. But it's just, a description and then your link that they actually link to. So it's not really hard. Just, and a lot of products, will give you examples, what you could use for pay-per-click. That's basically what he's asking for, is a pay-per-click type ad that you would submit to that. But I'm glad to hear that you're taking action with that, Roy, and going to be a co-host on one. You'll really enjoy that, especially when those opt-ins start flying into your mailing list. That was a big thrill for me the first time I did that, to see all those opt-ins coming in. Usually the first 2 or 3 days of the giveaway, you'll get hundreds of opt-ins that first 2 or 3 days. It'll kind of die out for a while after that, and then there'll be another big push towards the middle, and then right at the very end of the giveaway, there'll be another big push. So, it's really exciting to see all those opt-ins come in. Okay, well, we're running right at about an hour now. If you got any questions, now's a good time to ask them, because I'm going to try to keep this as close to an hour as I can. I don't want to keep you guys too long. And I'll have like I said, I'll have the replay. I'll include Robert's original video, because I don't know how well it came through on this recording, but I'll have the actual original video. And then, like I said, he sent me a text version of the answers to that question, so I'll include that as well, so you guys that want to read the answer, you can read it as well. But if we don't have any other questions, we'll go ahead and call it a night then. I want to thank you for coming. Like I said, it's been 2 weeks since we've had one of these. Last week was my fault. I thought the Warrior Forum announcement was going to be more meat to it than what it was. Turned out to be a big waste of our time. But we learned. That's all I can say is we learned. You never know. I mean, Warrior Forum, is such an integral part of all of our online careers. If they're going to make a big announcement, I want to be there for it, and I wanted you guys to be there for it. So that's why, I canceled last week so we could all be there. Had I known it was going to turn out the way it did, I wouldn't have canceled. I'd have just waited till the next day and watched the replay, and then told you guys what I did in the email after that. But like I said, we live and learn. You never know. But anyway, thanks for coming again tonight. On the replay, I'll have the form where you can submit your questions for the next week's webinar. we try to have these every single week unless something happens. In case you're new here, we try to do these every single week. So thanks for coming again tonight, guys, and have a great week.